Good morning, you beautiful divine souls. It was very strange to me as I was letting the dogs out to the bathroom this morning. I got to look at the sun, and the sun's coming up over the horizon as it's rising. The shape was not round. It was very almond shaped, like a eyeball. And when I took the picture of it, because it was fascinating to me, red sky in the morning, sailor's heed warning. It's going to be hot and humid and miserable today. And it looked like a dragon eye. So that's the picture that I post here at the beginning of this video. Is that this dragon heat, how appropriate, because we have a lot of dragons in the cards today. And when I was pulling the cards, well, let's get into this dragon symbology first. Yeah, this isn't just about weather. This is definitely divine symbolism. It looks like the right eye, the masculine principle, the active force, the solar current of Ra. It's, if you go back and rewind about 30 seconds, it definitely looks like the eye of Ra. The dragon, ancient, fiery, coiled with power and wisdom. So this morning, the sky opened its eye, and let's talk about what it's trying to show us. So looking at the cards here on the table, when I was sitting down to do the collective message this morning, I grabbed the Seeker Oracle, and I distinctly heard, what you seek is seeking you. And I started to shuffle. This was a frequency, a cosmic law coming through my mind. You're not chasing illusions, you're magnetizing reflections. And when you stop performing and start inhabiting your truth, everything that's meant for you starts to find its way back. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck is the card Know Your Labels. This card is about identity, alchemy, false masks, and ego roles. It's a crow disguised as a dragon, perched on a branch but shrouded in fire. And when I saw it, it reminded me of the phoenix rising. This card is asking you, who are you beneath the name? So then I let the cards fall as they may. The first card on the table, a king bee. This is divine masculine embodiment, sovereignty, presence. And it's not about doing, it's about being. The sun becoming the right eye of the dragon. It's masculine energy. All right, so the next card, Love Your Inner Child, is a little baby dragon. Reparenting, tenderness, and dragon playfulness are all themes in this card. This is healing not by correction, but healing with compassion. The next card being Raise Them Up, and we have the image of a priestess. And she's holding another baby dragon in her hands. This is the collective healing, the soul mentoring, the rising tide that lifts all beings. And then the final card from the Secret Oracle is Express Gratitude. It's heart chakra frequency. It's heart chakra frequency also in the Love Your Inner Child card. It's a lot of green. This is about holding presence over perfection. The sacred practice of appreciation, especially in discomfort. I decided to choose the Soul's Journey Tarot today to clarify the Oracle spread. And what's laying on my table right now is the Soul's Calibration. We've got Justice, the Star, the Chariot, the Six of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Four of Pentacles. And when I started shuffling, when I split the deck, I was drawn to look at the split, and right in my face was the Justice card. So I knew that this was about rebalancing, recalibrating. This isn't just reflections of energy. This is initiations for you guys. The tarot is showing the internal architecture of a soul in the midst of remembering who they are. So anchoring in the reading was the Justice card. This is the demand for balance. It's not punishment, it's alignment. In fact, if you feel like God is punishing you, really what's happening is you think you're punishing yourself. I mean, we hurt our own feelings all the time. Are you living in your truth, or are you still performing? This is a karmic checkpoint. The opening of this reading began with a mirror, the Justice card. Where are you out of integrity with your own becoming? All right, we've got the Star card. Healing, yes, but also reconnection with your divine path. After the storm, here's your vision, the deeper reasoning, the inner compass turning back on, not to guide you away, but to draw you inward. And right behind that is the Chariot. This is your internal divine will. The direction in which your life is going. It's momentum. But it's only momentum when the inner forces align. It's soul coherence, not frantic movement. So who's the driver in the seat here? Is it you in fear or you in faith? Well, then lo and behold, we have the Six of Cups. Just confirming that this is an inner child message. This is the return of the inner child. The Six of Cups, this is your past life echoing soul memories and emotional innocence. It's, like I said, directly tied to the card Love Your Inner Child from the Oracle. So inner reparenting allows emotional freedom, and without that, you can't move forward whole. And let's see, last night there was something about... as I began my transformation, learning how to reparent myself, giving my inner teenager room to... My inner teenager was disguised as a dragon for so long. the anger, the shame, the guilt, the bypassing, all of that. And I had to learn how to give her space and to lead her with compassion, and not forgetting that her feelings definitely were valid, but maybe coming from a place of fear. You know, because kids, they make decisions from their emotions. So I had to really reteach my inner child how to redirect those emotions into action. So inner reparenting allows emotional freedom, and without that, you can't move forward whole. You can't. If your inner child is out of whack, your outer is also going to be out of whack. All right, so the next card is the Two of Cups. This is the sacred mirror. Everything in this reading today is about mirroring, because isn't that what life's about anyway, is the mirror? So the Two of Cups in this instance isn't just about relationships. This is the parts of you that want to be seen. Who or what in your life is mirroring your soul back to you? It's emotional reciprocity with others and with your own reflection. There's nothing outside of the self. There's nothing outside of you. There's nothing outside of me. The only thing that exists in time and space is you. If you think about it like this, you go to sleep at night and you wake up in your dream and it's still you. And then when you wake up in the morning, it's still just you. There's nobody else. And then I'm thinking about the golden rule, the do unto others as you would want them to do unto you, because they are you. The Four of Pentacles talks to me here about fear and constriction. And fear is where the separation is, where we think that outside of us it's just Jim Bob. But really Jim Bob is a reflection of me. This is where collective needs to be understanding that. This is where the shadow shows up. Clenching, protecting, withholding. So collective's being asked, what are you afraid to let go? What are you gripping on to so tightly that it needs to be released for the next stage to unfold? I don't want to just predict your future. I really want you to look at the deeper questions behind life. So at the bottom of the deck, the hidden energy, the energy that's taking place within the subconscious. We've got the Hanged Man. This is the pause before the leap. Seeing from a new perspective. This is not about seeing from ego, but seeing from our souls. The Fool can't leap until the ego has surrendered its grip on certainty. This is about letting go of all expectation. I'm going to get a little bit esoteric and you want to get into manifestation. They often talk about releasing it into the ethers. Let go of all expectation. Expect this. Expect anything goes. Yesterday, I've got 10 German Shepherd puppies that are for sale. So I guess I can add a little shameless plug here. If you're interested in working line German Shepherd puppies, I've got 6 left that are available. But anyway, yesterday, as I was posting them to be, you know, quote unquote, rehomed on Facebook, whatever, I was met with a shitload of backlash from that in some of the groups that I posted in, because, you know, like one of them was a training group, and they were like, you know, why are we posting backyard breeding in a group that's like elite dog training or whatever? And I had to come out and rebuke that. Not for myself, because I don't give a shit. I know what my dogs are. You know, I mean, like, this was a very intentional breeding for myself. I wanted to find a male that complemented my bitch and create my own personal line of working dogs that I can compete with. I did this for no other reason than for myself. And like I said, I was met with a lot of backlash in these groups. But I posted in like 13 German Shepherd groups these pups with full expectation that, you know, if it wasn't community standard for whatever groups I posted into, that the post would just be deleted and nobody in that group would see it, and I was okay with that. I had no expectations whatsoever. And that's manifestation. Letting it into the universe and not expecting anything to happen and expecting everything to happen. It's not all or nothing, it's all and nothing. I sent it out into the void where it could create the manifestation from pure potential. That's the perspective that the universe wants everybody to start seeing. That nothing and everything exist at the same time. Next comes the Queen of Pentacles. Collective is becoming someone who is both rooted and sovereign, so you need to trust in your ability to nurture your own path. Nobody's going to do it for you. God only helps those who help themselves. This is also divine feminine energy, and with a king bee and all the dragon energy out here, it's heavy masculine, but we have, you know, the Queen of Pentacles as the underlying energy. There's some sort of imbalance, and the Queen of Pentacles is trying to bring in that reminder that you have the ability to nurture and love yourself. The Ten of Cups comes next. Collective, you guys can have the vision. You can have your soul family. You can have emotional completion. And it's not going to be from chasing it. We're not chasing anymore. We're allowing. We're just becoming. Why does it sound so vague? Why do humans always need to attach meaning to something? Just allow. Two of Wands is next. You know, the Two of Wands, this is about making plans and, you know, whatever, but I'm looking at this card here with arms wide open, and there's a gateway within the chest that leads to a brighter vision, a brighter future. You guys are holding a vision. And with the Ten of Cups, you're allowed to have it. This is seeing another timeline, another choice point, another... No, it's about seeing the 0 point field. The last card at the bottom of the deck is the Fool, and here we are. We're at the edge, the quantum zero. This isn't the beginning of the story. It's the beginning of a new version of you. And this card is very quantum, the Fool. We are the quantum field. We are the quantum field. Our mind, consciousness, I think as science progresses, we're going to get to a point where science confirms everything that I say, that consciousness is quantum. I don't think anybody quite understands yet what quantum is. We have the mathematics and we have, we can talk about it a little bit, but those of, and I hate to say it this way, those of us who are awake and aware, we see it. Some of us aren't quite at that point, but the mechanics of how consciousness works is literally the mechanics of how the quantum realm functions as well. And when I talk about the 0 point, I'm talking about it's not the void, it's the box that holds all the potential. So this reading isn't about what's going to happen. It's about what's already awakening within you. And that Justice card just showed me the recalibration. The star is your destiny. And the Chariot gives you the choice to move. My partner is still very deep in his drug addiction, and last night he got paid. Yesterday he got paid, and he decided to go out and use drugs, because he does this every week. And every week he spends 48 hours driving around, spending all his money, and feeling like shit about himself. And then he comes home after hiding from being on a bender. I mean, he usually does end up going to work. But he goes to work and then he doesn't come home. And he spends those 2 or 3 days, nights, in isolation with himself on drugs. And he usually will come home. He gets paid on Tuesdays. He usually comes home either Thursday or Friday. And, he's feeling like shit about himself. And he's apologizing to me. And I don't know why I keep doing this. And I keep telling him, you got to love yourself better, man. But last night when he did it, I offered him a choice. And what I said to him was, right now you're standing on the threshold of a decision that is going to change the outcome of your life. It's going to, no matter what your choice is, it's going to affect our relationship and your relationship with all 7 of our children. So how you choose to act right now is going to affect how I act moving forward. I've reparented my inner child. I understand that I am human, and when I start to have emotions, I allow myself to feel those emotions. His choice to not come home and give me the car keys so that he could just be stuck home is granting me the opportunity to choose how I respond. And I'm choosing to respond with limiting his access to my nurture, my love, my intimacy. He doesn't get that from me. If he doesn't choose to be present in our relationship, then I don't have to be present in our relationship either. It doesn't mean I have to get angry. It doesn't mean that I have to be, and go back to the dragon for a minute. It doesn't mean that I have to let her out to burn the house down. It just means I choose not to react to his actions. So I'm not going to meet him with a reaction and feed his shadow, feed his ego, give him the opportunity to also explode, which ultimately is, what happens. Like I told him yesterday when we were on our way home from work, I said, You know, these bills have to be paid, and the only people that are nobody's gonna say it to you. They're gonna come to me because everybody's afraid to talk to you. But I'm not afraid of him. His dragon's no match for my dragon. But now my dragon's balanced, right? So, you know, I'm choosing to show up with love and sincerity and compassion, but not intimacy. And I'm not talking about like just under the covers, whatever intimacy. I mean, like, I'm talking like legit, my divine masculine gets no attention from me in any sort of way because I'm fucking mad. I'm mad. You chose the nightlife over your family, and you continue to choose that over your family every day. And I understand that he has no control of that, but continuing to offer him the choices, because he's got to learn to reparent his inner child. He's constantly reacting from his addiction instead of responding to his addiction. The Justice card. Recalibration. Okay, so none of this means anything unless your inner child is held. Releasing the old fears and coming into the truth of who you are. Not the labels that you put on yourself, but who you really, really are. And this reading today was really all about returning to alignment with that. It's becoming whole enough to take the leap without knowing what's on the other side. I postulate this question: are you able to sit still with yourself long enough that you can become present and aware and begin to observe? So I'm going to recommend it again, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. You know, while this is a book that is ingrained in my psyche that I've always known, it was a truth that I had within me all along. It only took me reading the first chapter to just know what I had to do. So are you willing to sit with yourself long enough that you can become the observer, so that way you can, now let's get quantum, that way you can start to collapse your own timeline. You can observe the waves of potential, the Fool card. The waves of potential, you can observe them and start collapsing them into particles so they can take form in your reality, because that's the only reality that matters anymore. The Fool doesn't leap with recklessness. The Fool leaps because the soul is finally in integrity. And that's what all this is leading to. A song came to me and I wanted to talk about it. Come As You Are by Nirvana. Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be, as a friend, as a trend, as an old memory. This is the call to your inner child to start aligning with it, start reparenting it. How did you want to be parented when you were going through all your bullshit in high school, in middle school? How did you want to be parented versus how you were parented, and start being your own parent? I love you guys. I'll catch you on the other side. Bye.